Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the Majestic Snare and this is my disembodied voice coming at you with a bit of a rant. So I'm hoping that you're in the mood for a rant. I don't know how angry I'm going to get yet, but we'll see. As I start talking I might get more animated. You can't really see that because I'm not on screen today, but I hope you can understand that I'm getting slightly annoyed at stuff like this, so it's time to talk about it. And it is a fitting time considering we've just released a review on Anthem. So today is, if you haven't worked out by titles etc, I want to have a bit of a rant about Bioware, because when we released our review last week it was a well-timed review accidentally. We had the review coming out about the same sort of time, maybe a few days before the Kotaku report from Jason Schreier, who started to pull together some facts about with about 19 interviews with people that work for Bioware about the whole process and what was going on in the space while Anthem was being developed, and it seemed to show that most of the blame was actually falling at the feet of Bioware and its management. There were stories of people having like 6 months to a year off for anxiety and depression. There was people finding a room to cry in. There was people just being pushed and not being listened to fundamentally, and not being looked after, which is more important. So this report came out. It did help our traffic a little bit, I must admit, but not a great deal. So our video was seen by a few people, but we didn't know when we released that video about this report coming out. So I thought it was a good idea to have a little chat and have a little rant about Bioware, because we need to talk about it. It's a thing we need to talk about. So if you've got any thoughts, comments and concerns, let us know down in the comments. Okay, so I'd love to have a discussion with you guys and hear what you have to think about the whole recent revelations around Bioware. So let's just put things into perspective here. So Anthem as a game it's kind of like the match to the fire here. The Anthem came out about, what, a month ago, maybe more, maybe just over that. And remember, there was a whole ton of different fucking versions and dates it actually came out. But I think it came out about Marchy time, maybe February time. It feels like a fucking lifetime ago. But this game came out, and when we reviewed it, we played through it. It's a bit of an empty mess. It's not quite what you want. The loading screens are fucking horrendous. It's not optimized. It's using the Frostbite engine, I believe, which is being imposed upon them to use for these, games. That there's a common engine and it's cheaper to develop with because you're not using someone else's. But it's not built for a shooter type. It's more primarily for an RPG. But I believe so. It might be the other way around. Please don't quote me. But the fact is that this game came out, it was empty of fucking content, too many loading screens, not a fun thing to do, and when it was fun, you didn't get much time to be fun in it. So the end result was that Anthem wasn't kind of the game everyone wanted it to be or was expecting it to be. And that being said, it seems that Bioware was working on this game for 6 fucking years. Let that sink in. 6 fucking years. They dropped the ball. They either weren't working on it, and I'm not going to put this at the feet of the people who actually did the development, working on the damn game. I'm pointing at the management of these guys, because you need vision, you need direction, and that wasn't evident. It was just fucking do it. We've got crunch time, which is a fucking disease anyway, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it now. You're going to do it. You're going to work your fucking 20-hour days, get a few hours of kip, and then go back again. It's fucking dangerous. Now, we've all had busy times when we're working. If you guys aren't working, you're in school, you could put this to how many hours you're doing revision for, or homework, or something like that. But if you're working and you're working a stupid amount of hours, you don't get time to relax, you're going back in, you're going to make mistakes, you're not going to be productive, you're just going to be in a mess. And it seems that Bioware and many other video game companies have this opinion. The people are just about trying to use up their workforce and not be part of anything that is really sustainable. They just want people to be used up and spat out, because you're working for Bioware. They did fucking Mass Effect. What are you going to do? Leave? Well, most of them are having to leave even though they don't want to, because they're spending 6 months to a year off having anxiety and depression issues. This stuff doesn't happen just overnight. I mean, this is a cumulative effect of working stupid hours and going crazy. So, Bioware, I just want to take this moment to have a word to your management and flip you about 17 birds and just go, do you know what? Fuck you, Bioware. Fuck you in your fucking ass. I'm actually pissed off that a company with sitting on its laurels like some others, like Bethesda recently in Fallout 76, sitting on your laurels of a really good franchise in Mass Effect. You ruined it with Mass Effect Andromeda. You didn't pull it out the park. That's a really bad analogy or metaphor. But you've been sitting on that success going, well look, it's a Bioware game, we can expect great things. And we should be expecting great things. You guys have done some amazing stuff in the past. Stuff that changed people's approach to sci-fi, for example, or the type of game that it ended up being. But Anthem, you had it for 6 years. 6 years, and you did fuck all with it. Now, all those people that worked on it, I've got nothing against you guys, because work is work, and you're doing it for a paycheck. At the end of the day, you may have passion in the game that you're making, but I don't know the situations that surround that, and I still, to be fair to everyone listening to me right now, I still have to read that 11,000 word report. Apparently it's about an hour read, and I haven't had time to sit down and read it. But I have watched quite a few videos dissecting the points and the bullet points dragged out of it. So I'm reacting here more than kind of than analysing, but just bear with me. So Anthem was an absolute mess. It didn't come out as it was supposed to come out. It wasn't ready. It didn't have content. It was badly optimised. Everything that you could think of as a bad part of a game. But the strangest thing, and the most surprising thing, is that EA is not at fault. Like, nowhere in those interviews that was called out that EA was a reason for this being this bad or this badly managed. Which is like, it's like biting into a beef burger and there's a bit of chocolate inside that think, oh, chocolate, but it's actually a lump of shit. Like, that's the surprise level we're talking about here. Shit burgers, right? So it's so fucking sad to see at the same time a fool of a developer like Bioware being absolute wankers to their workforce over a long period of time and not having anything to show for it in the end, but also EA not being the bad guy. What is happening to the fucking world? I do not know. So please help me with some comments down below what you make of this mess. Please, I want to hear, because this is driving me insane. The whole thing, the whole culture here needs to change. And sadly, if you've got one person doing a crunch time being successful, that gets pointed at as being successful. Why would you not do it and risk the fact of your game not being as good as someone else's? So there needs to be something in place to stop this. You know, this is fucking workhouses in Victorian time bullshit, isn't it? This is people being worked to death or to severe impairment just because somebody wants to make some money. Some big fucker in EA or in Bioware, those fuckers will get the fucking payoff because they've shipped a game on time. Doesn't matter if it's crap. But those guys working on it, they'll feel the pain, not only in the fact that they're burnt out to fuck, but their passion is just ruined and being shat on by people like me. It's just not right. So I want everyone to take a moment here and just think of the guys working and developing on games and work. It's a hard job. I don't do it myself, but I can imagine how much time you have to put in and how much criticism you have to deal with and changes of ideas and decisions all the time if you're not being in a well-managed project, in a sense. It must be absolute hell. But what I will say is that this kind of activity is now front line and centre of people's attention, and I really hope there is some new calls for, you know, the Games Workers Union, I think it's called, or something similar. If that comes to fruition, I'd be all for that, because people need to be looked after and they're not. I mean, something needs to happen. So nevertheless, I think I'm rented out now, so apologies for the excessive swearing, but it was needed today. I needed to do that. because I'm really fucking tired myself, so I can appeal to this situation. But it's just so strange it happened at the same time, roughly, when we issued our review. But I thought it was good to do a follow-up, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know what you think down below, and like the video if you have liked what I've been swearing about today, and subscribe if you haven't already and become part of the Overbite family. There's more content, maybe a little bit more family friendly than this usually, on the channel. So if you do think you fancy a little bit more of Overbite and a little bit more of me, then please subscribe, ring the bell on the notifications, and you can hear when we are releasing videos every Wednesday and Saturday. You've been lovely to sit through this tirade of abuse for a good 10 minutes. So guys, thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, love you, bye bye.